Hi folks, welcome back to Sci-Fi Scavenger, particularly if it's your first visit. Today I'm going to run through my somewhat ambitious TBR pile for July. I don't normally do this, so this is a bit of a departure, but we'll see how it goes. I hope I'm not setting myself up for failure. First up is Remnant Population by Elizabeth Moon. This will be my first Elizabeth Moon book. The protagonist is Ophelia, an elderly woman left behind after a corporate colony planet is abandoned following an alien attack. She's the sole human inhabitant. She makes contact with the aliens, the native sentient species, and becomes a trusted elder. More humans come, and her approach to the aliens is in conflict with theirs. It's unusual to have an elderly female as the main character, so I'm looking forward to reading this. Then it's time for some dick, in the form of Martian time slip. I gather it's set in a failing colony on Mars where life gets increasingly difficult. Jack Bolan is the main protagonist, a repairman who came to Mars to escape his difficulties with mental illness back on Earth. With his skills, he soon becomes essential to life in the colony. It's Philip K. Dick, so I'm expecting big things. I've acquired something like 30 Robert Heinlein books in recent weeks, but I've never read one. Time to fix that, so I'm going to start with a classic, Starship Troopers, which tells the tale of poor bloody infantry, but in space. I'm intrigued to see if it differs greatly from the movie. Set in the 26th century, Altered Carbon by Richard Morgan is a high-octane, noirish techno-thriller. From the back of the book, it's a pure adrenaline rush of slick, hard-hitting prose, superb characterization, and a plot that grabs you and just won't let go. Sounds exciting. Taking a closer look at the cover of this Clarke classic, Childhood's End, I'm struck by how obvious it is that the Independence Day movies stole this idea. Giant alien ship hovering over a city, familiar. Unlike Independence Day, these aliens actually do come in peace. The book covers their transformative effect on humanity and is considered to be among Clarke's best works. I've decided to do a reread of The Culture. Some I've read more than others, and I now only have a very dim memory of some of them. I'm of the view that they are only loose connected and can be read in any order, but that isn't going to stop me from reading them in order of publication. Starting with Consider Phlebas, which incredibly dates back to 1987. It's much older than I thought. I'm excited to read this next one, The End of the Day by Claire North. I know that it deals with death. Charlie is the harbinger of death, the last person that you meet before death itself. As it says on the back of the book, Charlie meets everyone, but only once. Sometimes he is sent as a courtesy, sometimes as a warning. Either way, it'll be the most important meeting of your life. Claire North's an author that I've only heard of recently. I watched an interview with her over on Moy's channel, Media Death Cult, and I really thought that she came across very well, and she's written a bunch of things under different pseudonyms, but this is the only one that I have, so I shall be reading that with interest, and we'll see what else comes along in my various charity shopping trips. Another female author. The next book I'm hoping to read in July is After Atlas by Emma Newman. I really love Planetfall and have high expectations of this one. I gather it's tenuously connected to the events in Planetfall, the link being a family member of somebody that left on the ship, the Atlas. So this is a story of those left behind. In common with Planetfall, there is a religious element, or at least a cultish one, to this tale. I've only read one other book by Robert Silverberg, and it was wonderful. So again, I have high expectations of Up the Line, a novel of time travel paradoxes, time police, and goodness knows what else. If you add in Silverberg's fabulous writing, it sounds fantastic. I'm really looking forward to this one. Next, I plan to tackle The Parable of the Talents by Octavia Butler, a writer I'd never heard of until recently, and she's in good company. This book is set 5 years after Parable of the Sowers, another of her books, which I have not read and don't possess. Set in the 2030s, the US has fallen behind in the world and is run by Christian fundamentalists who want to make America great again. Does that sound familiar? This book was published in 1998, long before the orange one had designs on the White House. The book tackles religious dogma, slavery even, and dreams of heading to the stars. I've acquired a lot of short story anthologies in recent months, and it's time I got some of them read. I'm starting with this one, the Mammoth Book of Best New Science Fiction. It's quite a mouthful. It is jam-packed with stories by the best in the business. I won't get to all of them this month, or I doubt it, but I'll make a good dent in it. Last on my TBR pile for July is the first book in the Gap Cycle by Stephen Donaldson. I have read it before, but I don't remember a lot about it. The first book in what Donaldson himself describes as a Wagnerian epic, it begins to tell the tale of a villain, Angus Thermopylae, a hero, Nick Sarcuso, and a victim, Morn Highland. He says that the drama in the series comes as they switch roles as the tale develops. I usually get through 6 or 7 books in a month, so this is a rather ambitious TBR pile. But my secret weapon this month will be 10 days holiday in France, when I plan to do a lot of vegging out with a book in hand. Only time will tell how I get on with this lot. So that's it. What do you have on your TBR pile for the next few weeks? Anything exciting? Do let me know in the comments. I'll be really interested to know what you have planned. But for now, thanks for watching, and tune in next time for more sci-fi shenanigans. Bye for now.